Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are back here at Walker Ford, Clearwater, Florida. And of course, you know me, I love performance cars and I can never get enough of this one next to me. This is it. This is a 2023 Mustang GT and it's got that classic dark gray finish to it. But before we jump into the original of all the pony cars, let's talk about what's going on here. Now I said the original of all the pony cars. There used to be a total of 3 of them. It was the Mustang, then the Camaro, and of course at the same time, the Pontiac Firebird. Now, of course the Mustang being the first, that's where we get that whole term pony car, but the other 2 would quickly follow to go after, of course, the customers that were diving headfirst into the Mustang. Now, over the years, the Mustang has always been that balanced performance vehicle, right? You could get a lot of horsepower if you want. You could get some niceties on the interior. Over the years, it's kind of been a little hit or miss, especially in the dark ages of the Mustang 2. But man, when the Fox body came out in 1979, that's when performance really started to come back into the Mustang, and it hasn't stopped since then. Now, if you're looking for a performance car that brings a lot for your hard-earned money, should you go Mustang or should you spend more, maybe double the price, and go like with a BMW M4? So let's go ahead, let's dive into this Mustang GT and find out, is it the best performance car for the money at the end of the day? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the S550 platform, yes, it's on its way out, but still gets a lot of attention going down the road. You have that nice wide front fascia that really kind of brings in the whole essence of what this car is about performance-wise. You're gonna get full LED lighting. You got your projector beam headlight, the tri-bar set up on your daytime running lamp, so you don't have to worry about having any kind of old-fashioned light bulbs and stuff, at least when it comes to the headlights. Another thing is that if you are a Star Wars fan, I have very good news for you. They actually designed this part of the car after Darth Vader's helmet. That's a true story, I'm not BSing, and you can see the design characteristics between this and Darth Vader. Now, as we come across the front, because this is a GT, you're gonna have this gloss black grille, honeycomb style, with that chromed out pony badge. So much history goes into that Mustang name. What's interesting is that Mustang was not the first name of this car. They actually wanted to call it the Torino. Yes, the Torino name would follow later from Ford, but could you imagine if this was the Ford Torino? They were also thinking about just calling it the Maverick, which that name was used on a different car and now is used on Ford's tiny compact pickup truck. So it's crazy to think about how names come about and all that kind of stuff. Now, you are gonna get this nice size front splitter. This being the standard Mustang GT, this is your standard size splitter. If you go Performance Pack Level 1 or the Mighty Mach 1, you get a more aggressive splitter. But this, like I said, we're talking about performance for the money. You go Mach 1, you're gonna be spending a lot more. Just saying. But as we rise on up, you're gonna get that clean style from the GT hood, functional heat extractors, honeycomb finish, just like up front. Other than that, there's really a simple but purposeful style to the hood. Now, as you come around the bend, and think about it, looking at the front of the vehicle, if we're gonna say BMW M4, remember those big, huge nostrils, the grills that it has? Much better looking design, even though this design goes back to 2018-ish, 2019 with the refresh, much cleaner design. Now, as we come around the bend, this one has some unique wheels. This is one of the options on this particular one. So normally your standard wheel would be an 18-inch wheel. This is a 20-inch wheel. V-spoke design. It's got a nice aluminum finish to it, not too shiny, not too dull. And then you'll notice our sort of like almost powder coated gray big old brake calipers there. All standard affair with the Mustang GT. If you want beefier brakes, go Performance Pack Level 1. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire, you're basically looking at a 265 up front and a 35 series sidewall on that 20-inch wheel. Now coming down the side, of course, 5.0, gotta go. This one's got plenty of go with our 5-liter Coyote engine. Remember, 1979 Fox body is where we start to see that performance, and the Fox body Mustang is where that 5.0 badge really started to come into its own. Coming down the side of the vehicle, the rest is gonna be your familiar Mustang GT lines, and that's not a bad thing. Working our way towards the rear, nice flared out fender, and then coming to the trunk lid, you're gonna get a body color match trunk lid spoiler, just enough, nothing too crazy. Love the way they did the LED triple beam setup on the taillights. We got our GT badge, and then as we go all the way down, I love the way they cleaned up the diffuser and the quad tip exhaust. Now this is another area that with the refresh back in 2018, not only did they refresh the front, they refreshed the back, and that's where the GT got its quad tip exhaust. Because remember, when the S550 first came out in 2015, you just had one exhaust on each side, and it was kind of quiet. This exhaust, even though it's stock, you got quad tips, and it's much louder. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's making all the noise in our Mustang GT. All right guys, we got the hood pop. You do have a prop rod. I'm gonna let it be because I know a lot of people love the traditional prop rod. What I'm not gonna let go is this thing here. This surfboard size engine cover is just a little out of control. So I'm gonna zonk this. The good news is on the new Mustang GT coming out, they got rid of it. Just show me the sexy intake plenum. I don't need all this plastic, but underneath the plastic, you're looking at the Coyote 5-liter V8 that pumps out 450 horsepower, 420 pound-feet of torque. You could have it mated to a Getrag 6-speed manual, or ours has the 10-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in about 4.1 seconds. And then of course, at the end of the day, you have that performance V8 sound. Now, if you go with the BMW M4, yes, you're gonna have a little bit more horsepower, but that has a 6-cylinder, a straight 6 twin turbocharged engine. Much different, but why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V8 and hear its mighty roar. All right guys, we're inside this Mustang GT. Interesting, some of the options that it has. Some of them I wouldn't have necessarily chosen, but hey, to each their own. I know we're talking about performance car. Yes, you could get a base Mustang for cheaper than this particular one, but I didn't want to just go bare bones. Nobody really tries to go bare bones unless they're really focused in just making it a race car and doing the circle drags down at the Freedom Factory or something. But I know you're asking me, well, Joe, if we're talking about money, how much is this one? So the way that this one is optioned with the tech package, with the special interior and the wheels, you're looking at MSRP of $50,000. Let's see what your hard-earned money gets you to the door panels. All I can say about the door panels is that they're clean. Some would say they're dated, but hey, to each their own. White contrast stitching, nice sized door pocket, easily be able to fit a Whopper in there and a large fry. And then when you go from the door panel to the dash, I like the way it's got this aluminum finish, but yes, this is dated. I mean, there's no way around it. But remember, they are coming out with a new Mustang GT, but that one is definitely gonna cost a little bit more. Now, as you slide in, you have your triple AC vents, B&O sound system, 8-inch infotainment system that is full touchscreen capable with your dual climate. We got heated seats and ventilated seats, which are really nice, 3 stages each. Your toggle switches, this is gonna control your 10-speed automatic, or you can get a 6-speed manual. 2 cup holders. Your standard Mustang key fob gets the job done. It's got remote start, so you could do that as you're walking out of the grocery store and scare the hell out of everybody. Good old-fashioned e-brake. When's the last time you saw one of these in a BMW? Mechanical e-brake. Super soft touch with a little bit of stitching. You open this up, USB-A, and since we're talking about Mustangs and ponies, you could fit, I would say, 4 My Little Ponies easily in there. I know Lori used to collect those as a kid, and she would love to have some of her little ponies back. So maybe I'll help her track some of those down, wrangle some of those in. Close it up, seats, the leather, the stitching, ventilated. I got a zonk that's a manual back, but everything else is power, which is really nice. And then I think the nice thing is you're gonna get a larger rear seat than you are in the BMW M4. So that's the other nice thing. But why don't you come on over here? I wanna show you what the heck is behind the steering wheel in this Mustang GT. All right, guys, here we are, business time behind the wheel. You do have a nice aluminum sill plate that lights up LED lighting with the Mustang name. Down in the pedal box, aluminum brake pedal, throttle. I just wish they would give me aluminum dead pedal. Is that too much to ask? Let me know down in the comment section. You do have your power seat controls, especially for that lower lumbar. We already talked about that. I'm not gonna kick a dead horse. See what I did there? Dead horse, Mustang. That's what I do. Steering wheel, the leather, not crazy about the horn button. I don't hate it either, but it just, you'll see with the new Mustang horn button. I just wanted to say GT. I don't need this horse that looks like it's on fire or something. That's not cool. Flat black on the switchgear, paddles to go up and down the 10-speed automatic. Remember, on the M4, you get an 8-speed automatic, so something to think about. And then you have your analog and digital gauges. Nice large analog tach, speedometer. In the center, you have that digital gauge cluster, which you could actually go through a plethora of different gauges, which is a really nice touch, especially when you're looking at something like engine oil temp. That's an important one. The trans oil temp is a good one. I would like to see oil pressure. That's a little bit of a bummer that that's not there. But I showed you a peek of what the back seat's about. Let me show you the trunk so you could really compare what you get, not only performance-wise, but also storage-wise in the Mustang. All right, guys, trunk time. Open it up, and this is where it decimates the BMW M4. Nice, large amount of trunk space. Seats fold down as well, and then you'll notice how they have that subwoofer for the B&O sound system bolted down. That thing is not going anywhere. Let's look underneath the cargo mat, shall we? You actually get a spare on this. So unlike the BMW M4 where you get a can of flat fix, this actually gives you a spare so that you can make it to wherever you need to go to get that flat repaired. But you know what time it is, right? This is the time that I wake up in the morning for. This is what gets me out of bed. If you're ready, I'm ready. It's on throttle time here on Rady's Rides. All right, guys, we're in this 2023 Mustang GT. We're leaving Walker Ford. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice. You gotta love how this V8 just distributes its power. Yeah, you're losing a little bit off the line compared to, say, a Camaro SS. But boy, oh boy, when the revs start hitting, that's where this quad cam Coyote V8 really comes into its own and just really puts the power down nicely, all the way to redline. Now, if we're comparing this to something like a BMW M4, like I said, you are gonna have more horsepower. Weight is kind of close between the two. And yes, you could get the M4 with all-wheel drive, but there's just something about a classic naturally aspirated V8 rear-wheel drive that when you get on it, it stings. Golly. I tell you, that's the thing I love about the Mustang, is that whether you go GT, Mach 1, or anything in between, it really gives you that nice V8 experience. And for the money, I know we're talking about $50,000 here, but think about it. Toyota Supra, more money. Obviously looking at the 3-liter Toyota Supra, more money. Nissan Z, more money. The Camaro, about the same. BMW M4, M3, more money. So really looking at the price and just simply how much horsepower you're getting per dollar, you're getting more with this Mustang, of course. Yes, we have analog gauges, but I love them. I love them to death. I just feel like screens are taking over the world And anytime we could spend less time in front of a screen is better. And if you need the screen, you got it, because you have your, like I said, all those different gauge clusters in there in that center display, from inlet air temp to engine oil temp, transmission oil temp, the whole shabam. I do have it in sport mode. That's gonna adjust everything from throttle sensitivity and steering, of course. And I'm telling you, these seats are very, very comfortable without feeling too squishy. They do a nice compromise between the two. And the fact that they're ventilated, they're heated, such a nice balance to have all of those amenities in this car. Of course, if you want to manually shift, you could do that with the paddles. 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear. On throttle, here we go. Look at that, just pulls. Nice. Wow. Really gets that power to the ground. And then of course the handling of this thing. Look at this. Round we go. On throttle. Nice. I tell you, it just feels good. It feels good. The ride is a nice balance between feeling too firm and too soft. It really is the Goldilocks. The Mustang GT brings a good Goldilocks setup to the suspension, to where you could drive it every day. It's not gonna beat you up, but when the road gets twisty, you can have your fun. But this really is that do-it-all performance car. You got tons of trunk space. Yeah, we don't have the largest rear seats, but you're gonna have to look at a 4-door performance car then. But for 2 doors, V8 power, and of course, that real sound. I mean, even think about the BMW M4, the Toyota Supra. All these other cars have pumped in sound. This, there's nothing pumped in about it. It's the real deal setup in this vehicle. And just so smooth of a torque delivery. Yeah, it's missing a little bit off the bottom, but once you get 3,000 RPM, it's over. It just all the way to that 70, almost 7,500 RPM red line. And the fact that you could use the paddles to go up and down the gears, on throttle, just nice to have that flexibility. All right, guys, it's been a hot and heavy day out here at Walker Ford. Definitely got to thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Mark, the whole team, getting us access to another one of their pony cars, this 2023 Mustang GT. Let me know what you think. Is this the best bang for your buck performance-wise, or are you gonna try to spend more on a BMW? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up to the cameraman behind the lens. His friends call him Tripod. I just call him Stephen Flood. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen Flood, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.